Good morning, afternoon, and or evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a knockout of an episode in store for you with Desiree Williams talking about the CMAs, Angelo Amira with a rant about Star Trek, and so much more.
So beam up and set phasers to fun, because from Ball State University, The Real Deal starts now.
Hello and welcome to The Real Deal, Ball State's one and only entertainment news show. I'm Aiden Hall.
And I'm Sunny Clark. Welcome back to a normal episode of The Real Deal. We're returning from a couple themed episodes in a row.
Rest assured that we will be able to provide you with consistently good coverage of regular entertainment news until Christmas, that is.
Here covering some good old-fashioned Hollywood headlines is our very own Tina Marek. Tina?
First up is Adele's comeback. After nearly 3 years away from the stage, the singer-songwriter gave her first live television performance of her new single, Hello. The performance was part of the BBC One special that is set to air later this month. Adele last performed live at the 2013 Academy Awards, where she won an Oscar for the James Bond theme song, Skyfall. Entertainment Tonight reports Hello has had the biggest sales week for a single since Elton John's Princess Diana tribute, Candle in the Wind, in 1997. The music video for the song also broke a record on Vevo. It reached more than 27 million views in the first 24 hours of its release. During her interview with Graham Norton on the BBC Music Special, Adele said of returning to music, "I can't do anything else. This is all that I like doing." Next, If I Stay star Chloe Grace Moretz is set to play the title role in Universal's live-action adaptation of the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, The Little Mermaid. The film does not currently have a director, but will be produced by Tim Bevan and Eric Fellner of Working Title. Entertainment Weekly reports Sofia Coppola had been working on the project, but departed over creative differences earlier this year. Moretz took to Twitter to let fans know about her new role, writing, "Been waiting a long time to tell you guys, #The Little Mermaid going to be a beautiful experience. Can't wait to show everyone my mermaid." And lastly, NBC's lone remaining daytime drama Days of Our Lives has celebrated its 50th anniversary. Variety reports the milestone comes in the midst of some alterations to the show. Producer Ken Corday, whose parents Ted and Betty created Days, said, "We made some changes with writers and producers and decided to raise the bar with the look of the show, the performance aspect of the show, and where we're going with the stories and characters." That's all for your Hollywood headlines. I'm Tina Marek.
Thanks for that, Tina. Sounds like Adele is saying hello to Grammy nominations once again.
Sounds like she'll be rolling in the deep in that dough, that is.
Rumor has it that Adele is back and in full force.
That's enough. We're not about to let the writers do an uncontrolled punch streak for 3 weeks in a row.
But I was just about to get my Chasing Pavements joke, and I was a big fan of that one.
Nope, I'm putting a hard stop on this right now. Anyways, sometimes we enjoy shows that many may not view in a favorable light, and hold it close as a guilty pleasure.
Here to talk about one such show is Evan Bell. Evan?
We all have those shows that we absolutely love to watch, and maybe aren't so popular with the rest of the crowd. I, for one, am in love with the new show Scream Queens on Fox. The series revolves around the sorority Kappa Kappa Tau and the many murders that coincidentally happened to its members by the Red Devil. The American Horror comedy series began back in September and has already won an award for Most Exciting New Series at the Critics' Choice Awards and has been nominated for 2 2016 People's Choice Awards. The show has some very large celebrities such as Glee star and singer Lea Michele, singer-songwriter Ariana Grande, Freaky Friday star Jamie Lee Curtis, and 90210 star Keke Palmer. I love this show not only because of the all-star cast, but because I absolutely love Ryan Murphy and all of his shows, such as American Horror Story and Glee. I am also a huge fan of Lea Michele and her work, so why wouldn't I love this show? This show brings together comedy and horror in all the right ways. You could even say it's a better version of Mean Girls with a chilling twist. But not many people like shows like this, so it definitely doesn't cater to everyone. But I believe that if you love American Horror Story, then you will love Scream Queens just as much as I do. You can catch Scream Queens on Fox every Tuesday night at 9/8 Central. Who knows who the Red Devil is after next? Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Evan. I was thinking during that segment, you know what phrase sounds like Scream Queen? Sing Queen. You know who's a Sing Queen right now, Sonny?
Let me guess. Adele?
Got any good Skyfall jokes?
No. We'll be right back with Angela Orima giving a rant, Max Lewis with a trailer watch, and more. Stay tuned.
There's a wrinkle.
They got our spy pilot. Or the head full of classified information. The Russians want their man back before he cracks. We want you to negotiate the swap.
I'm an insurance lawyer.
The abominable snowman just crawled out of a book. That doesn't just happen.
You've just released every monster I've ever created.
What was that?
It's the Invisible Boy.
Ow!
He's such a cracker.
The only way to stop them is to suck them back into the books.
You've read them all, right?
Yeah.
I'm entering this log for the record. This is Mark Watney, and I'm still alive. Obviously. I have no way to contact NASA or my crewmates, but even if I could, it would take...
Moving in. I just hope this new kid has never heard of me. It's not often you get the opportunity to start over with a clean slate. This time, things will be different. He did it!
You're protecting someone.
Get away from me!
Why should I trust you?
Because right now, I'm your best chance of staying alive.
Welcome back to the program. Now, so many great films coming out means so many great trailers. It may be somewhat difficult to pick out what looks best with the amount of content being released nearly every day.
Here to talk about some recent trailers of note is our very own Max Lewis with this week's edition of Trailer Watch. Max?
My first trailer is for the movie The Hateful Eight. In post-Civil War Wyoming, bounty hunter John Ruth is escorting fugitive Daisy Domergue to Red Rock where she will face justice for murder. They encounter another bounty hunter named Major Marky Warren and Sheriff Chris Mannix. A blizzard forces the four to take shelter at a stagecoach passover called Minnie's Haberdashery, where they encounter four more strangers: Bob, Oswaldo Mowbray, Joe Gage, and ex-General Sanford Smithers. Through betrayal and deception, the eight strangers soon learn that they may not make it to Red Rock after all. The trailer already has too many characters, too many storylines to follow, so I will definitely not be seeing this movie. But for those of you who want to see it, the movie opens Christmas Day. Next is Secret in Their Eyes. A team of FBI investigators, Ray and Jess, and their district attorney supervisor, Claire, are torn apart when they discover that Jess's teenage daughter has been brutally and inexplicably murdered. 13 years later, Ray returns to Los Angeles after uncovering a new lead that he feels can permanently resolve the case. The movie stars Julia Roberts, Nicole Kidman, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Unfortunately, this movie comes out on November 20th, the same day as Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. So I'm going to have to skip this movie as well. Last but certainly not least is the movie Concussion starring Will Smith and Alec Baldwin. The film is based on the journey of Dr. Bennett Omalu, a forensic neuropathologist who made the first discovery of a football-related brain trauma, known today as a concussion, in a pro player and fought to bring awareness to the public. In his search for the truth behind the devastating malady, Omalu's quest humanizes the price paid by professional athletes in impact sports, but also by people who challenge the status quo, as it exposes the political, cultural, and corporate interests.
There's a certain seminal sci-fi show looking to make its return to primetime after nearly 20 years.
Here to give his take on the situation in rant form is Angelo Orima. Angelo?
CBS recently announced that they would release a new series for the beloved, long-running franchise Star Trek. And although this is great news to hear, especially due to the series' 50th anniversary looming ever so close, Before Trekkies around the world could even run to their closets and grab their cosplay outfits, the news also broke that the megalithic franchise would truly go where no man has ever gone before: CBS All Access. Now, I won't judge you if you feel the need to take a moment and look up just what CBS All Access is. I know I didn't know before this news story. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure anybody did. Well, just think of it as CBS's very own streaming site, similar to programs like Netflix and Hulu. Only this is specifically for the singular channel's programs. That's right, after the pilot airs on basic television, Scotty is going to beam up Star Trek into CBS's subscription service, where we will probably never hear from it again. Set phasers to dumb, am I right? But really, do I even need to address why this is a bad business move? Rather than put something of such high caliber and with such a fan base where it belongs and where all can see it, CBS figures, hey, why not? Let's just make them pay even more than they already do to watch our content. I know, there comes the argument of Netflix having shows like House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, and Daredevil as original programming, but this is because they already have an established install base. Although Star Trek may be a powerful franchise, I don't think it has the capability to bring legions of fans to another subscription site. Given the holes in our pockets that Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon are already burning into, one show shouldn't be enough to bring people over, and CBS shouldn't expect it to. This is simply another classic example of television companies trying to squeeze more money out of the consumer. Star Trek has more than enough relevance, or more relevance than half of CBS's current programming, so it really has nothing to do with its not having confidence in the series. This is just a workaround so that the company believes they can get another $6 from the sci-fi show's hardcore fan base. But the thing is, you can't have the best of both worlds. If they feel the need to stream it, why not put it on a site that's already established? Or if they believe they have a hit on their hands, why not just put it on TV with their other programs? All in all, I believe that this is just another stingy move, primarily focused on getting more from consumers. But this could be the start of a very scary trend, one that I hope doesn't get off the ground. If these streaming sites keep popping up rather than unifying to a few central locations, then eventually the market will phase out the least important one. And what CBS doesn't realize is that they could be that site. They could be setting up Star Trek, something with such great potential for doom. And as a Star Trek fan like myself, I know that I don't have it in me to shell out another $6 a month for a singular program. And like Sam Smith says, I know I'm not the only one. Put Star Trek in the spotlight it deserves, or even put it on an already established streaming site. Then who knows? Maybe you can find a way to live long and prosper after all. I'm Angelo Oriema, and that is all I have to rant about for this week.
Thank you, Angelo. Sounds like you won't be brushing up on your Wookiee speak anytime soon.
Wasn't the famous alien language from Star Trek Klingon?
Klingon, Schminglon, all I care about is what will be on after the break. Desiree Williams will have a top 5, and Michael Mathis will be covering news from the music industry. Stick with us.
Welcome back. Now, Aiden, who would you call the Sing Queen, as you were talking about earlier?
I've been waiting for my chance to make this joke the whole show. Sounds like Adele.
Actually, if you ask a country fan, they may say Carrie Underwood, and she happened to host the CMAs with Brad Paisley.
Here to give a top 5 moments of the ceremony is our very own Desiree Williams. Desiree.
If you didn't know new artist Chris Stapleton before, you do now. The Country Music Awards aired last Wednesday, and it's supposed to be country music's biggest night. But it was really a big night for Stapleton, as he won 3 of the most coveted awards. He wasn't the only highlight, though. Here's a list of the top 5 best acts from the 2015 CMA Awards. Number 5 goes to the hosts, Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley. They've hosted for 8 years straight, and they're always amazing. Underwood and Paisley work so well together, so it's not one of the partnerships that makes the show feel awkward or forced. They feed off each other, and it's more like 2 friends having fun. There were some great jokes poking fun at hot topics in the media and members of their country family, like Blake Shelton and his relationship status. Next, number 4 goes to the collaboration between Reba McEntire and Brooks and Dunn. They are 2 of country music's biggest legends, and they dominated the stage. The performance didn't need crazy sets or dancers. It was just the artists singing and putting on a great show for the fans. Number 3 goes to Luke Bryan. He won Entertainer of the Year again, and most people expected his signature performance at the show. He usually has lots of technical effects with the lights and the set during his songs, and he is famous for his body rolls that make all the girls swoon. Instead of that, he let the music and his voice speak for itself in his performance of Strip It Down. Bryan didn't dance or use lots of special effects. It was just soft blue lights and his great voice.
Number 2 goes to Chris Stapleton. He is a new artist in the country music family, and it looks like he will be around for a while. He won New Artist of the Year, Male Vocalist of the Year, and Album of the Year. His career is bound to skyrocket after this, and he seems like a guy who appreciates the love. He even got a little teary-eyed during an acceptance speech. Lastly, the number 1 act of the night goes to the duet between Chris Stapleton and Justin Timberlake. Yes, Justin Timberlake graced the CMA Awards. They sang Stapleton's hit Tennessee Whiskey and continued on to sing a jazzy version of Timberlake's Drink You Away. They are both so incredibly talented and showcased that talent with their range in this duet. Not only was the music great, but they gave an amazing performance. They were so in tune with each other and the band that it was absolutely flawless. The CMA Awards promised to be a show with great collaborations, and it definitely succeeded. Next year is the 50th anniversary of the award show, so it's bound to be even bigger.
Thank you, Desiree. Sounds like fans of country music had a pretty spectacular night.
Fans of music in general have had it fairly good recently, especially fans of a certain songwriter who enjoys writing songs about personal heartbreak.
Let me guess. Adele?
No, actually, it's Drake. He's been having a good couple months, and frankly, I don't appreciate your assumption that I would revert to my old punny ways, because I am last name ever, first name greatest when it comes to puns.
As the teleprompter continues to roll, I'm slowly realizing that there's no way to stop the puns. So I'm just going to hand it off to Michael Mathis with the Music Minute. Michael?
Hello, Real Deal viewers. It's Michael Mathis, and I'm here to give you all the buzz that's going around the music business. This is your Music Minute. To start off today's segment, we're going to talk about a man who you wouldn't picture trying to reenact the comical Drake video Hotline Bling. Donald Trump took part in a parody of Drake's Hotline Bling music video on November 7th episode of Saturday Night Live. The Republican presidential candidate played a tax guy with questionable dance moves. Used to call me on my cell phone, Trump sang while cutting a rug. I thought it was hilarious seeing a presidential candidate just let loose and try to pull off some Drake's famous dance moves. I just hope someone takes the time to make the memes of Donald Trump playing Wii tennis. Next up, we have some news from my favorite band, Coldplay. After much speculation, Coldplay have officially announced that their new album, A Head Full of Dreams, will arrive on December 4th, and the album is set for release just 18 months after their 2014 LP Ghost Stories, which features Beyonce, Noel Gallagher, Tove Lo, and Mary Clinton, the later prominent feature on the Rolling Stones' Gimme Shelter. A Head Full of Dreams was recorded in Malibu, California, and London, and produced with longtime collaborator Rick Simpson alongside Norwegian pop production team Stargate. The later duo's influence can be heard in the album's first single, Adventure of a Lifetime. Chris Martin also cautioned that A Head Full of Dreams could be the band's final album. It's our 7th thing, and the way we look at it, it's the last book of like the Harry Potter or something like that, Martin said. Not to say that there might not be another thing one day, but this is the compilation of something. I have to think that this is the final thing we're going to do. Otherwise, we wouldn't put everything into it. It would be sad news if this is their last album, but I respect that the band knows when it's finally time to call it quits after a great run. And last but not least, alongside with Donald Trump hosting the SNL this past Saturday, the audience got a taste of some new Sia music. For the second time this year, Sia was recruited to serve as Saturday Night Live's musical guest, this time for the show's much-anticipated Donald Trump-hosted episode. Her return visit came less than 10 months after the singer recreated her unique Grammy-nominated music videos, and Sia didn't mess around with the formula in her second SNL go-around as she delivered 2 singles off her upcoming LP, This Is Acting. The singer performed Alive and Bird Set Free, which were originally written for Adele. If her SNL performance has any indication of what her album will be, everyone is for a great treat. I'm Michael Mathis, and this has been your Music Minute. Thank you.
Thank you for that informative segment, Michael.
Wait, you're not going to make any more puns?
Nope.
You're not going to say Sia has a thick skin, a profitable heart, or anything?
Indeed.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Thank you very much, and apologies to anyone at home that sat through all the puns this episode. As Chris Martin would say, I hope our final word after the break can fix you.
Guess we couldn't end the episode without one more pun. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Is that the only way in?
The only way in, the only way out. Shh.
Ah, the holiday season.
Oh, yes!
It's that magical time when everyone comes together to give thanks. That it only happens once a year.
Time for comfort and joy. It's Christmas. As if you can schedule happiness. No matter what happens, we are family.
Here, here.
We will not lose this game. Let's go out and do it! Come on! Go! Touchdown!
Never seen anybody your size do as much damage as you do out there.
It matters for me to get a scholarship.
I assure you, sir. He weighs more than 145 pounds. A junior college. Well, thank you anyway.
You wanted to see me, Coach?
I made Iron Mike watch a season worth of film. You got his attention.
We got 200 players fighting for a spot on a 100-man roster.
Double time, let's go!
Hope Coach is right about you.
Yes, sir.
I'm offering you a scholarship to attend the University of Texas and play football.
I'm your son, and that is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm happy to be here because I love you.
That's right.
But I need to go away. And when I come back, I will be ready for life.
Okay. I know the demons that you're wrestling with. I want to help. So I'm just gonna come right out and say this. Okay. You're a mess.
For my final word, I wanted to talk about the upcoming Warcraft movie. Recently revealed at BlizzCon, the trailer seems to be drawing heavily from the game series that bears the name. Character designs and general mythos seem to be staying mostly intact, which is likely due to the creative input that Blizzard, the developer of the Warcraft series of games, itself had in the creation of this film. The trailer has it all for fans in both the series and fantasy in general, a huge sweeping scope and emphasis on fantastical battles between various creatures, and seemingly incredibly well done special effects. While I do have high hopes for this film as a fan of the series, I am slightly worried. Video game movies do not have the most sterling history, being enjoyably terrible at best and Jake Gyllenhaal bending time at worst. However, with Blizzard having direct input and much of the source material remaining, as it seems in the trailer, relatively faithful, I have faith that this project with a troubled past has the potential to knock us all out. And isn't it about time we got another big budget, hard fantasy movie in theaters?
As for me, I've been thinking a lot about Adele recently. Now at this point, we all know anticipation for Adele's 25th album couldn't get any higher. Her album is set to launch November 20th, and her fans couldn't be any more eager to hear the 11 new tracks by this powerhouse vocalist. The social media shy star posted a statement on her personal Facebook page about why it took her 5 years to record 25, stating that my last record was a breakup record, and if I had to label this one, I'd call it a makeup record. I'm making up with myself. 25 is about getting to know who I've become without realizing it. And I'm sorry it took so long, but you know, life happened. The music video for Hello, which showcases Adele at her very best, broke the Vevo record for the most views in 24 hours. But now it's official, we'll be getting a whole recording of new heartbreaking anthems from the Brit Awards and Grammy-winning star come late November.
And that wraps up the show for this week. Be sure to check out our website, Facebook, and Twitter pages for news and updates on all things entertainment. I'm Aiden Hall.
And I'm Sunny Clark. We'll see you next time.